Hey, DOT community. This is the first episode of the Game of Thrones final season grind session Sunday night live stream. So, bum 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 bum. Copyright music. I cannot play. Bum 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 bum. So yeah. Otherwise, I would play the Game of Thrones beginning during this. But, of course, my weekend being the way it is, I didn't expect to not be really unavailable as I was yesterday. So I have decided to... I grinded a bit earlier today, and I wanted to just get to pretty much at least a minimum of 2,000. And as far after as I possibly could go. So we'll see. We're going to keep grinding here. We'll most likely get over 3,000 on the live stream. But let's see who joined in tonight in this wonderful Game of Thrones after more or less like after show. Yeah, Bo says I'll send you a kazoo. What's up, Ed's channel? Good to see everybody. If anybody wants to join me on Discord, of course, as always, it's always going to be open. Other than that, though, of course, we're going to get to grinding. But I'd like to discuss a little bit of what happened tonight on the show, because, of course, it was awesome. But, of course, being the fact that they really had to touch a lot of bases tonight, they, of course, didn't have as much action-packedness as, of course, I think some people, including myself, was assuming. But you do have to give them that they did have to see a lot of different storylines and seeing a lot of different characters. What's up, Snot Chunks? Good to see you. Yeah. Yeah, Kool-Aid. It was tight. Yeah, a lot of setting up. A lot of beginning plot arcs had to be set up today. Yeah, nobody died. So, there's that.
That you know of.
Oh, Bo's here. That we know of.
What's up?
What's going on? So, definitely, so you watched, I'm assuming, right, Bo?
Actually, no. I'm so far behind that I decided to just stop. And I'll binge the whole thing. But I'm cool with spoilers. I don't care.
Okay. But yeah, there was a lot of touch, like I said, more or less like touching base with a lot of characters and basically a lot of people meeting up in Winterfell that, of course, haven't seen each other for many, many seasons. So, pretty interesting, awesome to see. Well, you know, some people died. I mean, there was just a few situations where some people died, but and some goats and rams or whatever that were used to feed the dragons. But besides from that, nothing super crazy. Seeing what's his name, the brother of the oh gosh, he was Reek for a while, but he's basically the brother that was tortured of the Queen of the Iron Isle. And of course, they're thinking about taking back that, and it's going to be interesting to see. So, what's going on, Jamie? Only the strong will survive, says Scorpion Sting. Good to see you, Scorpion Sting. Pretty awesome. Thanks for joining us. Nicholas, thank you for joining as well. So, of course, throughout this live stream, going to be only on for like an hour or so, but I'm going to do some background grinding, just over 2,000, well, almost at 3K souls. This event wasn't super crazy exciting for me, so for the most part, I'm just going to, and I haven't used any event relics except for the ones that were given in TOW, so I got 4 tokens right now saved up. We'll see if we can get maybe one more. We'll see what happens. So, but, so Bo, who's your favorite character on Game of Thrones? Let's just get that out of the way right now. Could be a main character, could be like a secondary character, even if they've died off already. And I'll let you know if they have.
So who's the little guy? What's his name?
Tyrion Lannister, the short little midget guy?
Yeah.
Well, he's still alive.
His character.
He's still alive, okay. So you're good. You're good.
Of the episodes I've seen, I thought it was pretty interesting.
Yeah, he is good. He's played a couple different sides in this wonderful epic series because, of course, when you more or less mess around and don't do what more or less kill your dad, stuff like that, kind of gets you banished from your family. So when you have to go in the opposite direction and hope that someone else is willing to pick you up. It's like being it's like giving your hometown the finger. Or the team you're playing for the finger, and then hoping that another team will pick you up if you're like a pro athlete. So yeah, that's more or less what happened to him. What's going on, Michael Marlowe? Random question: what's my internet upload and download speeds? That asked Nicholas. My understanding at the very moment, I don't really know. I would say I don't even want to say anything because that's probably wrong. So I would have to test it. But unfortunately, I'm not going to get a chance to do that tonight. Enjoy the grind. I'm going to take a nap. I'll see you all later. Oh, thank you, Scorpius Thing. Thank you for stopping by. Hey, FL Rebel. Good to see you. Yeah, Shadow Cheese, right? It's all right. You can mention any kind of spoilers you want to on here because it's just a specific Game of Thrones episode 1 stream. So of course, if you are, watching after the fact and everything else, we will be talking about things that happened on tonight's episode. But other than that, obviously, if you are caught up and watching the show on a regular basis, then none of this would be spoilers. Unless you just missed this episode, But besides from that, we did not really see much of the Ice King at all. We did see what he does to people that are in his way, though. Pretty close to the end there. It was pretty ridiculous. So, we're talking about a small child, one of the Umber boys. I think it was he was left over when Jon was trying to retake the North back last season, and the only thing that's left. See, some of these families, when they're royal line, some of the older siblings or very old, grandfather age, when they all get killed off, they only have the children that are left that take over, kings or princes and princesses or kings and queens of certain areas. It's pretty ridiculous that they're 9 years old, maybe even younger than that. But yes, very young royalty, and one of the similar to what we saw, I want to say, in the very beginning seasons, where when the Night's Watch would go above the wall and find a bunch of people that were, of course, taken out by the White Walkers, and they would make certain patterns with the body parts. Well, this time around, they took a small child and put him up on the wall with a sword through him, and made a pattern of body parts, behind him. And of course, being the fact that there is a, I forget the guy's name, but the one with the eye patch and the flame sword. Of course, he does get to stick that because the kid becomes undead, sticks him, and the whole pattern, lights up on the wall. Pretty ridiculous. Again, you don't see many shows out there that shows any kind of children getting swords put into them and caught on fire and screaming like crazy. I had my window open up in my bedroom, so I think everybody in my neighborhood heard it. So, but it was pretty crazy. You know what I mean? So there's just like as always, there's always the shock and awe factor of the show. And
well, now I want to watch it just to see that.
You know, that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? There's always these special scenes, and that's the one I have to say take out of this episode. You know, just not typical that you see screaming undead children burning, stuff like that.
So was it worth the 18-month wait or whatever?
Well, it's a lot of setup. This obviously wasn't a major episode for crazy amounts of extras. In the beginning, they did show the Unsullied Army, which is that army from the center of it's what I would consider the Middle East. But when you look at the map of the whole, I don't want to say Westeros because that's only just the left-hand side. It's like North and South America. But if anybody ever noticed that, a lot of the Game of Thrones map can be kind of assimilated to the map of the world. But in continent-wise, not by the way it's shaped or anything like that. But anyway, so, yeah. And when you have the armies, or what's it called, the Unsullied Army, which is made up of, it was a slave army more or less. They had them marching in very beginning into Winterfell, so pretty impressive again, because of course they do have to have a decent amount of extras on board to be able to do that. Yes, there's a ton of CGI involved, but you do still have to have a few hundred when you do long shots, and you want to have realistic people being on like the inside edges of any possible CGI work. So typically, yeah, you still have to have a decent amount of extras to do a lot of those shots. So pretty neat, as always. And of course, there was a scene as well, and we'll get to it here in just a second. Let's see if anybody else. Did you see the message from the Night King? A symbol? Yeah. Kada Scott Dargan. The message, we were just talking about the symbol up on the wall. Because I'm paying $100 a month for 100 down, 5 up. That's top tier for Palestra in Australia. And it's... Oh. Okay, Nicholas. I'm paying about $55 right now for my current internet through Verizon. And I would have to get the numbers on that and find out. We'll see what happens. What's up, King Joshua? Good to see you. So... I want to ask the chat here. I want to know, what do you think that symbol on the wall, like, again, do you think it had any specific meaning? Or is it just, we're coming after you, to myself, I didn't see exactly any kind of specific, because it was like a spiral shape that all the body parts were in around the child. I don't know if I recognize that being matched up with previous ones like that, if that was what I was referring to when they have found previous patterns with body parts before. But they were always on the ground, not on the wall. But, Yeah, we got Bo on Discord. We also had a scene where Daenerys had Jon Snow come with her on what I would consider the... first-time flight for Jon Snow to figure out how to fly a dragon. So I thought that was pretty funny, because it was kind of like, watching a 16-year-old learn how to drive, and it was quite interesting. They did it very well, because of course Daenerys has done it plenty of times. He even asked her, he goes, what if he doesn't like me, and she's like, well, it was nice knowing you, Jon Snow, like... Well, yeah. I would not like to fall off of a dragon. So. Oh, the Great Old Ones. We finally got more info on that Minotaur. Oh, yes. Prometheo put out a video on it. I didn't actually watch it yet. But definitely will here very soon. Yes. No specific meaning, just an instrument of fear. Yeah, that's what I thought so too, Kool-Aid. That's what I thought. But very similar to a lot of the other ones we've seen in the past. Of course, we also had plenty of,
You're talking about the spiral, right?
Yeah, we're talking about the spiral.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, because we've seen that before. But this time it was up on a wall instead of on the ground. But the also too, I'm trying to think. They did mention about how they're going to feed everybody, which was interesting because they never really came up to a conclusion on that. So they're like, Sansa's like, I said we were going to make it through the winter, but that wasn't with, 2 large armies and 2 dragons. So, yeah, I don't know, because it seems like the next episode, everything's going down. Of course, the preview at the end of the episode tells you a good amount about what the next episode's going to be like. And, of course, that's going to be Easter Sunday. So, at nighttime on Easter Sunday, it's actually going to be action-packed. So we're going to see exactly how that all goes for everybody. But there is a decent amount of people that will be, I want to say, taking off Easter Monday, but it's also because a lot of kids are off on Easter Monday, at least here in the United States, from school. So sometimes parents do have to modify their schedules to be able to, have one person be home to watch the kids. Besides from that, though, a majority of people just go right back to work on Monday. Marketing works better on walls compared to the ground. It makes more sense.
You think the undead guys are worried about marketing?
Yeah, I don't know. No. I'm just reading Shadow Cheese's comment. I wasn't sure exactly what he was referring to when he said that. Probably great old ones. Anyone know what we were getting Monday morning? Isn't that crappy land grab again? Most likely.
Yeah, probably.
Most likely. Won't be a fusion event. So, I would say it's most likely going to be that. Because we had a TOW last week, and also they said we were going to get a Relic Festival, I think, this week. What's up, Zaret? Good to see you. So, what I thought would be an interesting troop to add to Dawn of Titans?
Dinosaurs.
No, but mercenary style troops. So they don't exactly have any affiliation with any specific group. It's just a troop that you bring in. Of course, it will be, have certain aspects to it, which would be, they're going to fit into the meta in a certain way. Most likely, whenever they bring out a new troop, it becomes the, tip of the meta or more favored troop, which I think the Storm Maidens will need a, not necessarily a nerf, but also the Storm Maidens will have something that will actually directly counter them, just like now Panthers have been kind of put in their place by the Maidens. So
I want a siege weapon.
I know you've been saying that for a while, and I've been trying to think up. Actually, I have one night I came up with an entire siege event style that they could actually have in the game. I drew it out.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I drew it out, and I actually made up rewards chains and everything, and how the event would run and everything else. But I'd have to dig those papers back out and see exactly what I wrote down, and maybe see if it would actually make a lot of sense or not. Because it was one of those super late nights where I was like, let's see. Still no update for you and DOT. Well, Alex, unfortunately to say, the way they roll things out when new updates come out, myself usually, I'm right there with you. And I get it at the next, when they say on a live stream that they're rolling it out, there's still a good amount of the community that does not even have it until the following week. And then there is even players after that still do not have it after that. So I have just had to be patient in the past, and I would just say that is exactly what you have to do as well. And it's crappy You know what I mean? I don't like to have to tell people to be patient, but I've been in that boat and had to wait and watch everybody else get the update first, and I get it very last. Got a Mataurus with 3 lightning resistance and 2 poison resist. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, ouch, Shadow Cheese says. Yeah. It's not that great when you have to say that, you have to wait. You know what I mean? When you live in a society where everybody wants everything right away. And when other people have it before you, you feel like you're slighted and everything else. Yes, it is crappy. We should have some way that we can roll out the updates to everybody all at one time. There is most likely some sort of explanation of why that is the case. A lot of times they use the excuse that there is more limitations on how quickly they can get their rollouts through iOS. And that's why Android seems to be favored a lot of times. But for some reason, it seems like a lot of other games, iOS is favored. What do you think about that, Bo?
iOS is definitely not favored because it takes like 3 times as long to get it approved through Apple than it does through Android.
I know, but see, sometimes what I mean by that is a lot of times when we'd have alpha tests, beta tests, early releases, whatever you want to call any of this stuff that so many games like to do, it seems that iOS a lot of times gets it first, and then Android gets it second.
Well, yeah, okay, so that's because it takes so much more effort to get the thing released on iOS that, they tend to spend more time doing that.
Mm.
It is a little bit easier to beta test on iOS because there's one central beta testing, method.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas on Android, you could just pretty much, release the APK and have your guys just sideload it on their device without having to have any kind of central mechanism for that, like Test Flight or Hockey, the Hockey app that we use sometimes.
Mm. Depressed Gamer says, "Hey Zalon, sorry to tell you, but I quit the game, but don't worry because I will still watch you." Thank you, Depressed Gamer. If I remember correctly, Depressed Gamer, you are a bit younger, and a lot of times there is a little bit more of a, let's just say, a dropout rate of younger players. And it's nothing against what's going on. It's just there's always a bunch of new games available, and there's always the push to try something new and different. And I want to say that is just something that tends to happen with some of our younger players in the wonderful world of Dawn of Titans. So it's just something that's just a regular statistic that we see. Nothing saying that younger players can't play DOT, but statistically looking at the numbers, how long do younger players actually play Dawn of Titans? They have sometimes a 6 to 12 month time radius, and then there's a pretty high chance that you might be moving on to a different game. So that's just what I've noticed. Again, there are maybe hundreds, maybe even a few thousand players that don't fall into that category, but when there's maybe over the course of a few years, a few tens of thousands of younger players that have come and gone and have joined the streams and, done what they've done, said their piece in large caps. No. But yeah, it does seem to be a cycle. Let's just put it out there. So I'm not Depressed Gamer. I don't want to say that I'm super surprised, but at the same time, I'm glad you're still here to watch. You have an Android device, Alex. That's awesome. I of course use Android devices as well, and have felt like I am the last person to get the update. So, like I said,
sometimes I get it first, sometimes I get it last.
In this case, I got it. Yeah, this time I got it first, which was very surprising. So, I want an animal of some sort. They can use the panther as a reskin, but bulk up the strength or length and give it its own attack style like a drake or big wolf. Stark for life. The great old one. Very nice, yeah. A wolf, they did mention that a wolf titan is not something that's out of the realm of what they would like to make. So let's grab some more portal stones here. So does everybody like the fact that I thought it was pretty interesting that, of course, we have an ice event with Matoris and Tritos, and of course I put the on the thumbnail for this live stream, and from also putting it out there on that. I put a post message out for the first time for this, where you actually are not posting a video, but posting like a message and a picture. So it was my first time doing that a few days or a day or so ago, just to hype up the stream tonight. So I hope a lot of people saw that and thought it was pretty nifty, because I was trying to see if it would work. And besides from that, I threw Matoris and Tritos on it along with the Night King, because I just thought that was pretty neat. Because they're all ice. But then we didn't see him at all this episode, so it was kind of like, See, Soldier said first episode was weak. Well, see, that's because Soldier was expecting like, for instance, in regular Game of Thrones 10-episode season, there were specific episodes, like episode 9, which is the second to last episode, and sometimes even like 4 or 6, which is in the middle of the season, which are episodes they would spend a little bit extra money on. There'd be huge, massive, grandiose battle scenes, and major characters would die, So, of course, because of all the hype of the last season, and everything that's going on, and everything else, everyone is expecting the first episode to be an immediate, groundbreaking episode where many characters die and there are huge and massive battles. Unfortunately to say, in the wonderful world of storytelling in large, grandiose fashion, they had to go around and touch base with all sorts of characters to show that yes, we're telling this story, we're telling that story, we're telling this story, we're telling that story this season. So that's kind of what they had to do. That's why the preview at the end, it showed a whole bunch of action coming next weekend. So that's my explanation for the reason why the episode kind of was weak. Because I agree. If you listen to the beginning of the stream, I was, kind of like, eh. But at the same time, though, we did see a bunch of sailors get arrows put into them. And we did see a young child, burn after he became an undead. All right. Just want to put that out there. I'm not interested in watching regular children burn. But undead children, it's acceptable. Undead children is acceptable and is humane.
That's funny.
So. It's alright, the great old ones. You wanted 90 minutes, Soldier? I'm happy he got a sister, though. Yeah, I know. I was happy he got a sister, too. I thought it was pretty cool, because he's been... his name was Reek when the one young bastard son of... some of these secondary tiered characters that got all killed off a couple seasons ago. Hold on a second. When the... I forget their last name, though. I mean, their house name. Anyway, when the one bastard son was torturing Reek, which was the character that is the one who saved his sister, when... I mean, it was pretty horrific, his torturing. Again, that's why I always mention that the show always goes above and beyond showing things. Again, when I say showing things, it's, not breaking away. A lot of shows, they torture or killing or just a general, and dragons eating things and burning things alive, a lot of stuff they pan away from in many shows. Just the idea of it alone sets it in your head, but this show actually shows it, so it's just what makes it, I guess, have more of a shock and awe factor. Greyjoys. There we go. Thank you. Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid, you should join on Discord. Yeah, was surprised this episode was only 1 hour. Okay. I'll wait I'll wait until the season is over to watch the whole series. I never watched Game of Thrones. Oh wow, it's gonna be you're gonna have a good amount of time to watch it necessary. It's gonna be a bit, but because there's a lot of full hour-long episodes, you do have to take that into account. But very worth it, and I mean, when people say that people will talk about and refer to shows, like for instance, in the future, people are going to say, "Oh, this might be better than Game of Thrones," or in the future they will say, "Oh, this is no Game of Thrones." It will be used as a like a marker among other shows that come out. So that's a standardized marker, I should say, in the industry of storytelling and grandiose, way over the top shows with extremely large casts filmed in many locations. You know? So. Conquest is next week, right? Not this coming week, next week. Conquest.
Are we due for? We're not due for a conquest this week, are we?
I don't think it's going to be this week. I believe it's going to be the following, because this week, I believe, since we had a repeat event with Ice Titans, as you know, I believe we're going to see something new. It may be that new Marok. Is that what?
It may be.
It may be. Oh, wow.
Or maybe Marok is the actual name of the quote unquote Minotaur.
Could be the Minotaur Titan that everybody's been talking about. Now, of course, the developers have already mentioned that they're bringing out an Omega Spearman Titan. It's going to be super legendary. So that's going to be pretty neat. Now, is that going to be the Minotaur? You know, good chances, because if anything, Minotaur does fall into the Greek mythology, correct?
Yes, I do believe so.
So, with that, I just want to make sure that I'm still lining up with the, correct mythology. But yeah, they would make sense, because Minotaur would still be applicable to Greek mythology, and then we would still have a Greek summoner, if you want to look at it like that. I don't exactly know if you would... they may still consider him a god, because he's part of that same summoning line. Maybe not, but I think so, because of it being a summoner. But we'll see. So, of course, I'm just putting that out there, but it still would all make sense, at least. Is the last week of the month with Odin. That's what I was kind of thinking too, being the fact that he was that picture was on the very far right. So I agree with Kool-Aid's comment there. Yeah, this week is the new Titan. So yeah, and especially lining up for the new Titan along with the Easter event. Because the Easter event has to happen over next weekend. So...
true.
Or seasonal event, whatever you want to call it. So, there is that. If when we summon all our undead, is it like the White Walkers? Theon Greyjoy. Wow, you're a little bit behind on the stream there, D. But thank you. You are correct, Theon Greyjoy. Glad you know your Game of Thrones, D. You're impressing me. Now you should get on Discord. I could use the help. Make sure I got all my names correct. Jesus spoke to me. Yes. Right? Alright, so just doing some real basic don't care grinding right now. What's going on?
Well, hello, D.
Slipger. Where do I watch GoT in Canada? Where do I watch GoT in Canada? Well, HBO should be available, or one of its subsidiary networks that carries HBO programming. But most likely in Canada.
Maybe he thought you were streaming episode 1, and we could just watch it here.
Oh, no. What's up, Mig? Thanks for joining. Mig is one of the leaders in the non-toxic organization. Thank you for joining the live stream.
Hey, Mig.
Can't Discord with me after dark? Oh, I see, FL Rebel. It's alright. You haven't even watched a single episode yet. Well, it's okay. It's not a problem. See, I feel like there's the people... Well, see... And when I mentioned how crazy everything is about Game of Thrones and everything else, I feel like there's just the people that watch the show and the people that don't watch the show. And then there's the people that have watched the show but that have either fallen off or want to continue to watch. But there really isn't any like people that just straight up tell you they just don't like it. I think it might be because they fear that they're just going to be considered a minority, but I don't know. You know, there was a few people on my last stream that were like, I don't like, I don't like it, but I think it was just to stir the pot up because that was what's it called? Nade said that. He's like, oh, you want to see something? I don't like Game of Thrones. So, anyway. But,
too mainstream.
Yeah, too mainstream at this point, which is nuts because at this point, there's shows that have been out there just as long as Game of Thrones, like Walking Dead, and there's so many people that have left watching that show. You know, it's been around for just as long. You know, but there's so many people that are just totally don't even know what's going on in that show. But in comparison, tonight, there has been probably. I don't want to say exactly the same, but being the fact that how many people watch Game of Thrones actually when it's released, like live, I believe it's one of the most watched shows live that's still available out there. Like nobody watches or plans their day or has parties. Because there's Game of Thrones parties. People get together just like they would for sporting events. And especially, too, if you don't have HBO. So it's another one of those kind of things that people would still get together because they just don't have it. So, like,
yeah, true.
Just like a boxing...
No, I was seeing things where they were saying that they could have as many as 20 million people watching this episode. Yeah. Which is nuts. That's unheard of.
Yeah.
For season 9 of a show that's on premium cable channel, you know?
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh. So D says, so I assume, my Lord Zalon, you are here to bend the knee? Bending the knee. I don't know. Queen Deezus. I don't know. Bending the knee. That's funny. Can't stream on my mole device. Oh, that stinks, Rookie Nomad. I wonder why that is. I took an arrow to the knee. Is that right, Bo? Now, the question is, D, did Drum stay up for Game of Thrones, or were you watching by yourself? FL Rebel says, I watched the commercials and let my friends summarize. That's funny. Being the fact that HBO doesn't have any commercials for the most part, you usually just watch everything straight through.
I think he meant previews.
Oh, okay. Michael Marlowe says, if the Dragon Queen shows, I'll bend both knees. She's freaking smoking. Yeah, I know. Daenerys is pretty good looking. I'll tell you that. And she commands dragons. Although, yeah. So when she rolled in, it was funny too. When she rolled in to Winterfell, and there's like all the people of Winterfell, and it's the North. It's always, you know, super cold. All these people. So they're not cheering. The Unsullied are marching. And then all of a sudden the dragons like start flying over the city. And the people start freaking out. As if something bad is...
Wouldn't you?
Yeah, if something bad is going to happen. I know, they've never seen dragons before. Understandable. But just the simple fact that right before that happened, a comment was made from Jon Snow saying that, you know, northern people are, you know, not going to accept a foreign queen, you know. And then soon as the dragons roll in, people are all like, ooh, they're all like super scared and everything else because it's the unknown and something that is only in stories when you think about it. So, GOT is one of the last shows like Lost you have to watch in real time. Yes, Kool-Aid. That's true. Because tomorrow, even if it's already tomorrow for you, the people rewatching, the Monday after a Game of Thrones episode, okay, that Monday, if you go to work and you don't work like by yourself in your job, somebody's going to say something, okay, someone, I don't care who, someone at your job is going to say something like, yo, and it'll be on lunch when you're not thinking that, you know, you may or may not run into someone that will say something. It'll always be on like some sort of break, or maybe a lunch break, or just like just a general like 10 or 15 minute break or something like that. But one of your coworkers will say something about Game of Thrones, and you'll just go ah, because you didn't see it. So yeah, it is like that. It's pretty ridiculous. She oozes all the sexy. Yeah, Michael Marlowe, right? When will it be on Netflix? It's on Amazon Prime. I mean, it's on Amazon. You can get it on there. But for Netflix...
Amazon Video.
Yeah, Amazon Video has it available. You can get a free subscription right now for 7 days, which is what I'm getting right now, and then it's $14.99. But it's basically like paying for HBO through Amazon. But you can use the Amazon Video app, which is available on your phone, on your tablet.
Well, now, Soldier posted like an internet TV thing that was about that same price, but it had like 800 channels on it.
Correct. Which is also neat. Oh, we still didn't get an official answer from D if Drum made it. Big time! Oh, man. Well, you know what's funny? Because the show acknowledged that already in the one scene, and Bo, you might remember this, but there was a scene, I want to say a few seasons back, where they were in a brothel, and there was one of the girls there in the brothel was dressed as the Dragon Queen, dressed like Daenerys, and one of the other girls there was like, oh, everyone wants to be with the Dragon Queen, and it was like the show itself acknowledged the fact that she's very good looking, you know, and I just thought that was pretty good. Oh yes, Drum made it. All right, good. I'm glad to hear, because Drum can't go to work tomorrow. No way. No way. Too big of an office, and probably too many people similar to Drum that like to you know, talk about awesome things. And one of those things, most likely, especially with how popular Game of Thrones is, I'm sure there's people that will be talking about it tomorrow. Because it was like I mentioned, it's all about setting up a bunch of stuff. So of course we had the arrival of all the well, we didn't have at the very end of the episode we had Jaime Lannister showing up. So I'm assuming at this point that means the forces that came with Jaime. I believe he came with an army.
He's he's gonna win the game, right? I'm just guessing.
Jaime Lannister? I don't know. I mean, he lost the hand. He lost the hand. He lost the hand, and I don't mean like a hand of cards. I mean like his physical hand. So I don't know. Jaime Lannister hasn't been doing too hot, and Cersei, you know, AKA in DOT Scotty, Cersei Lannister is definitely got some plans because she basically told the what is this what not Bran of Tarth the Bronn of the Blackwater, one of my true favorite secondary characters because he is just so awesome. He's got that knife in the back that he always has. That he always has like right behind him on his belt. Pretty ridiculous. But she basically told Bronn that she wants. Now she didn't directly tell him. She sent that that one maester, the guy that they saved, the one like really crooked maester that fixed up the mountain. They sent him to Bronn and told him that, well, yeah, if either one of Cersei's brothers comes back, which would be Tyrion Lannister or Jaime, that they're gonna get killed. So that was kind of a, I don't know. I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think Bronn will kill Jaime. I don't. And will he kill Tyrion? I really don't think he will, because he really likes Tyrion. So I don't know. I don't know what Bronn will do. I don't think he'll actually. I don't think he'll do either one. I don't think he'll kill either one of them. He likes both of them. Oh, you do need 1,000 subs to stream on YouTube Gaming. Interesting.
Yeah, that's a new thing. It used to not be that way.
I did not know that I figured YouTube Gaming was just going to disappear, so maybe they're keeping it around then. Night King's flame symbol is the Targaryen symbol, dude. Oh. The King's flame symbol is the Targaryen symbol. Nice. Thought the Targaryen symbol was the it was like a dragon symbol though.
That's well, he's talking about the spiral, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's the same symbol.
That's why I can't only put up videos on my new channel and not stream from it. Is because of the app? Oh, because you're under 1,000. Interesting. Wow. So we won't be able to live stream from the Rift of Rhaegar channel? Or the Relics of Rhaegar channel? Is that what the situation is there, Bo?
I'm not sure. We should probably check on that.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the case, we may have to just live stream on my channel and your channel.
Mm-hmm. So, just a quick side note. Sidebar, Bo. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, no, that was it. That was the quick sidebar. But yeah. You have to log into the YouTube Gaming app to be able to stream with the recorder. It's super weird. Huh. That's crazy.
Oh, the recorder. I got you. Now, I thought you only had to have like 100 subs to live stream just straight up on YouTube, and they've stopped development of the YouTube Gaming app, like the individual gaming app, but those of us that still have it installed can still use it, and it still works, but I don't know that you can actually download it anymore.
Oh yeah. Well, game yeah. No problem, Wrecking Nomad. But yeah. So let's see. Anything else that I haven't talked about what happened in tonight's episode? Let me see. Oh well, the Onion Knight's doing good. Big fan of Sir Davos because he would be me. You know, makes it just because Sir Davos is cool and he definitely looks out as best he can. But also too, let's see who else. What else happened tonight? Oh, the army from the what is it? It's not like not the National Bank. What is it? The something bank, which is considered the it's like the World Bank for the. They sent their gold army over, and well, more or less rented it to Cersei, so she has like this huge, massive army now available sitting in King's Landing. But yeah, we'll see. Hazelon, is the stream spoiler free? No, it is not, Ice. It is 100% tons of spoilers. So we're discussing what happened in the first episode, so probably gonna have to put that on the thumbnail and the title. Tons of spoilers. That's right, without elephants. I was, if the show has been very brutal to animals plenty of times, we've seen some horses' heads get lopped off and stuff like that. But plenty of different animals have died on the show. And when it came down to them saying, "Oh, Cersei was very she was bummed out that the elephants didn't come." God, the one captain was like, "Oh, elephants don't fare well on long ship voyages." It's like, well, yeah, I couldn't imagine.
That's why you take baby elephants. God.
Yeah, right. But yeah, so there wasn't any elephants apparently. What's up, Dylan? But yeah, so there's definitely a bunch of stuff set up everywhere. Armies are sitting, waiting, poised to, the undead army has more or less. Because in the beginning of the episode, it was more talking about they told the young Umber boy to quick, go get everybody else out of your town and get out of there. And then when you find out closer to the end of the episode that, looks like everybody there got killed, and they used that boy to send a message. So, yeah, it's pretty much, it's end time. I mean, we're in the final season, which doesn't even have a full 10 episodes, so things are going to roll kind of fast. But with this episode, of course, being the setting up all the plots and everything else, it's was a little bit more talking, a little less action. So, elephants will be nice meat shield for the dead army. Yeah, that's true, Kadas Durgan. Yeah, that's true. Got to think in DOT terms here.
Maybe that's what we need in DOT is war elephants.
That's right. War elephants.
Yeah.
It would be nice.
Maybe let the Goliaths ride them.
My gosh.
As if they aren't slow enough, right?
What? War elephants for Goliaths? That'd be nuts. That'd be nuts.
Look at the mercenaries. Your mercenaries could ride them.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I think mercenary, like a certain mercenary class, or also too, it would allow us to make another building type. Because I don't know. Sometimes when players, especially some of the level 25 players, I should say Castle 25 players, not level. When they mentioned about we don't have past your bedtime. Okay, don't sabotage your bedtime, D. Have a good night. Yeah, I'm only gonna be streaming probably for just a little while longer. Just making sure that we cover all the things that happened tonight. But before D distracted me, I was talking about I don't know. Lost my train of thought. Thank you, D.
We were talking about war elephants.
Yeah, war elephants. Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. Oh well. We're gonna do one more refresh of the stones. And we're gonna go from there. Hope everybody got what they wanted out of this event. And how far did you end up getting, Bo? Did you get to 2K? I can check on you. Find out.
No.
No?
You'll be highly surprised. No, I definitely did not make it to 2K.
Uh-huh. Well, you did collect your free token, though, right? Didn't that have a timer on it?
I did. Yeah, it did. Well, okay. I don't know if I had a timer or not, but I got it.
Yeah. I think it might have had a day or two timer on it to pick it up, but... Yeah.
That was pretty cool, though.
Yeah, because they ended TOW early. Yeah, Wrecking Nomad says, Night D, don't make Drum mad. Yeah, that's right, sabotaging bedtime.
I said don't make Derm mad.
Yeah, that's right.
Mercenary class and Castle 25 players. That's what you were talking about.
Oh, yeah. The fact that, see, that's why you need to be on Discord, D. Keep me in track here. It's getting late, and I gotta get up for work tomorrow, but I wanted to make sure I did this and talked as much as I could about what happened in the episode. But mercenary class and level Castle 25 players, I was thinking about, if you had like a mercenary building, again, it gives, we need reasons to spend gold in this game. Multiple times, people have been saying that on dev live streams, and it seems like the developers have absolutely no clue. They're like, need reasons to spend gold, need stuff to spend gold on. It's like, yeah, when you're Castle 25 and you have like all your buildings maxed, yeah, what, making spells? Yeah, that is a joke. You can't tell me that that's what you're going to spend all your gold on. There's nothing like, that just doesn't make any sense. There's not enough spells to make all the gold that you grind on a regular basis. You're just always going to be maxed on gold all the time. So anyway, there needs to be more things to spend gold on. So yeah, they could add a few more buildings to the game. Is there space for these buildings? Most definitely. If you don't really have space for your buildings, you may be a lower castle and haven't expanded to all the, extra areas, but for the most part, they have those set up that when you hit certain levels, that you do expand to those areas so that you do have enough room. So I never really had a major issue on not having room for buildings, and I still could definitely move a few things around and make room for a few more building types. So I would like to see like a siege workshop. I'd like to see a mercenary camp. Mercenary camps would be real cool because it would allow us to have, I think they should be troops that, of course, we spend gold on instead of food. Ho-ho! You hear that, DOT community? Why would you spend gold on these troops instead of food? Well, you don't have to feed them and, raise these troops. You need to just pay them to fight. Ho-ho-ho! What a great idea! So yes, we can have mercenary troops in the game, but yes, you would have to build the building. But those mercenary troops, you would have maybe three troops would be released at initially. It's like, what, Solon? That's crazy talk. But yes, you would have 3 brand new troops all released at the same time. Why? Because it'll be balanced. And why would wait a second. 3 balanced.
Yeah.
And why would I say that? Is because one would
because you need a tank and a range and a speedy.
There you go. That's exactly. I was slowly getting to it, but yes, exactly correct. You would have to make sure that you put one to each one so that you can have the ability to, if you need some ranged troops, if you need some speedy troops, or if you need some, what was the other one? Just the basic melee troops, is that what it is?
The tanks.
Yeah, the tanks, yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah.
If that's what
they could be actual tanks.
Well, maybe.
Okay, maybe not. That probably wouldn't work, but...
Yeah, but mercenary troops in this game I think would be very cool, because it would be something easily put into the lore, because, well, frankly, mercenaries fall into pretty much most, well, I would say all historical military groups. I mean, you don't really...
Well, you typically see mercenaries added on these type of games after, after the initial release and then the development, and then it's like, then they go to the next stage. And so one of those stages are like, oh yeah, here comes the mercenaries.
Yeah.
So you can build a mercenary. It's happened in several games.
Many different games. Age of Empires games have mercenary troops. I've even seen mercenary troops even in
Dominations has mercenaries.
Yep.
And they're similar to the troops that you have, just slightly different variations, right?
And they always cost gold. They always cost money. In those games. They
cost the opposite of what the other troops cost usually.
Yes, and that's why I say
there's two currencies.
Yes. Having another barrack would be great. Having another armory would be great. Well, let's look at it this way, FL Rebel. The mercenary camp would be able to be used as a second armory, but only for the mercenary troops. How about that? Because if I'm going to release 3 brand new troops, one of each type, like, speedy, tanky, and ranged. Yeah, I would want to be able to upgrade them as fast as possible to max them. And I would want it to be not using the regular barracks, because obviously I'm still using that for all my other troops. Because if you notice how when you're making your regular troops, the armory is in the same queue, then in the case of the mercenaries being in a separate building, I believe that they should combine the 2 barracks and armory options and make a third button here on the bottom that would just be like whatever the mercenary building would be, like mercenary outpost or whatever they want to call it. But yes, it'll be the place where you, instead of use food, would generate the troops using gold, and also allowing you to have the armory aspect as well to upgrade them outside of your initial armory. So I believe that would be nice addition, because it wouldn't clog everybody up again and say, oh, well, look, we got another 3 troop types to add to your armory, so good luck getting any of them to max level anytime soon. Yeah, that's basically what it would be. So I think if we would do the smart option of combining them into the same building. Now, I'm not going to say that the military building will or the mercenary outpost would have anything more than those 3 troop types. I think we would sit on those 3 troop types for quite some time, because they're all new, and maybe some tweaks to their stats when they find out whether they're super effective or not, or if certain people aren't using one of the 3, or blah, 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 blah. The usual stuff that happens when they release something brand new like that. But, and I also think of the Unsullied, like the slave army that we have here in Game of Thrones. Hey, Tagger, good to see you. So, when you have armies that are bought like that, what people would consider mercenary-type armies, that's why I just feel like that could definitely be added into this game, and, like we've discussed, that other games have it very similar as well. So, just another thing that, sometimes when you watch certain things, they get your mind moving in certain directions. So, The new types of troops, tiers of troops, are the kinds of progression that killed Mobile Strike, but you have to progress somehow. That's true.
I still like the idea of having some sort of game mode, whether it's an event or if it's like a monument or an arena, where it's Titan versus Titan without any troops.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I think that would be interesting.
It would be interesting. I think it would have to be more of like an arena, or like a Coliseum. Coliseum situation, where you have tons of cheering fans, and you're watching Titans go against each other.
There you go. Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Because you're if it's just the Titans, then your strategy as to how you build them out is completely different than if you're worried about troops.
So, what if you could go to the Pantheon and fight Titan versus Titan?
That'd be cool.
Since the Pantheon makes you think, I am going to be traveling to Rome soon. So when I think of that, when I think of the Pantheon, I think of like Colosseums.
Wait, you don't have to go all the way to Rome to visit the Pantheon. We got one here in Nashville.
Do we?
Yeah, they built a scale Pantheon at one of the parks here.
Really?
It's the one that. Did you not see, what was the Percy Jackson movie where I can't remember which one it was, but anyway, they visited this. They went to Nashville to go to the Pantheon.
Interesting.
It's actually pretty cool.
Awesome. Well, did not know that, but anyway, it wasn't my idea that was the reason why I was going. I'm going for other reasons, but. When I think about that, I think of maybe using a building that we already have and just adding the mode to it. The ability to just, have a Titan on Titan attacking. And then, of course, if they want to make it into like a daily event or maybe a 2-day event, but just make it so that you can go in and select, or they have it already set up. Either one, you select your enemies, or they have pre-selected enemies. Scenarios that you're going in, but really it's Titan on Titan. Although, wouldn't it be cool if they still drop spells, but the only spells that you could use are the ones that they drop, so which means you have to run your Titan over to them?
There you go.
Because it's not like they can drop like weapons in on the battlefield.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I mean? So if anything. They should make it so that you can have... Where are they? Probably right there.
They're in the woods. Drop a fireball.
Yeah, they're right there. Hear about the naked chicks in a high-speed police chase here in Florida? No, I did not hear about that. FL Rebel.
Yeah, actually, I did. I heard about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Florida. So.
Yeah, it is. And it's getting nicer weather, so people down in Florida are starting to go crazy. So... Because, remember...
Oh.
Sanity only reigns in Florida during the wintertime. As soon as it starts getting too hot down there, people's minds start melting. Remember.
Yeah.
That's where bath salts first made their debut into the limelight of people going absolutely nutso. So, not saying that people don't use bath salts other places, but apparently in Florida, that's where the wild and crazy stuff happens. Plus, that's also where you have election issues with Chads. So, you never know. Florida's got a lot of stuff going on. Heavy population of older Americans. Let's just put it that way, too. Heavy population. So... That's where I live. My high school is in the background where they stopped. Oh, wow, FL Rebel. Alright, so, wrapping up. Gonna have just a few more battles here. And then we're gonna be done. So predictions for this season of Game of Thrones. Let's get those done here at the very end. What's gonna happen?
Everybody dies.
Everybody dies. Bo says everybody dies.
Except for like that one person.
Which one? Which one, Bo? You got to call it now. Who do you think, if you had to pick one person that's not gonna die, call it now, so that you can at least say that you at least called one. Who is not gonna die?
All right. So I don't think the Dragon Queen's gonna die.
Okay. You think Daenerys Targaryen is gonna live? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else? Anybody else can put who they think is not gonna die in the chat now. Go ahead, make sure you call it out now, because I'll read it out now. You'll root for the midget, says FL Rebel. So yeah, you're all about Tyrion Lannister, thinking he's gonna make it.
See?
Anybody else? Anybody else can say who they think is going to make it throughout the entire season. I'll read it out now. It'll be in DOT live stream history forever, and we can go back and check when the season is over. So don't worry. We are a community of people who check and recheck and correct. So that's how it is. Myself personally, I think that we will see... I think another dragon's gonna die. I don't know if both of them will. I think one more dragon is definitely gonna die. Out of the two good ones. Because I think it's going to be a 2-on-1 dragon battle. I don't know if that's coming next episode or not, though, for the fight for Winterfell, because I believe that's coming very next episode. So next Sunday is going to be the fight for Winterfell. It's going to be pretty insane. But I don't know if the dragons will fight then, or if they will push a 2-on-1 dragon fight to episode 3 or 4 to spice things up. So, but I believe one more dragon will die in the process when that fight goes down. Because the undead dragon, that's right, DOT community, undead dragons. The undead dragon, I don't know, like, he's pretty OP. And I think because he's the largest of the 3 dragons, that, yeah, he's going to tear one of his brothers/sisters up before he goes down, at least. And the Onion Knight will live. Because Davos is my boy. But the Mountain will die. Calling that. The crazy zombie. The Mountain. I'd like to see... Oh, we did get the sad news tonight that... what's it called? Daenerys basically told Tarly... what's his name? That Tarly is his last name. The kind of roundish guy that went to be a maester and saved that girl and got her pregnant, basically. Samwell Tarly. Which, Bo, the DOT community on the last live stream said that that's you. That you're trust.
Oh, really? That
you're trusty Sam, yes, because you're very knowledgeable and you travel around a lot and you're you know.
All right, I'll take it. Could be worse. Could be worse.
Yeah. I mean, I took the Onion Knight. I mean, my sigil is an onion.
Oh, nice.
That's right. Gnome de Plume, Lannister is a dragon in disguise. I suspect he'll outlast everybody else in the show. Dragons fighting dragons? OP-ness. Yeah, FL Rebel? Have you not? You definitely haven't watched the last episode of the last season, which is the reason why everybody was so pumped for this season, is because, yeah, we got Evil Dragon and 2 good dragons, and the evil one is was the biggest, strongest dragon of all 3. Yeah. And he's blowing that dragon has has got like a blue flame that comes out. It's not even a red flame because it's undead. Oh, yes, OP-ness. FL Rebel. Ridiculous. But yes, so Samwell found out that Daenerys killed her Sam's dad and brother on her way up. So you're one of the non-watchers. It's okay, FL Rebel. It's okay. But yes, remember, as I continue to mention things that aren't shown on other shows, and it is ridiculous. Oh, and there's a lot of mature-rated stuff, like, you know, tons of naked people. More naked women than men, just so you know. But yeah, so it's quite the adult show. Let's just put it that way. And that's why so many younger people want to watch it too, because it is like that. But all right, DOT community, we're gonna wrap it up. Predictions aside, if you're watching after the fact, if you want to throw out your prediction in the comments in the comments below, be great. See exactly what you might have said in the beginning compared to what actually happens, because we only have like I think only 7 more episodes, or it might be 6. I might be wrong. It's 6 or 7 more episodes, and then it's over. It's all over. Story is done. So pretty epic. This event, I'm at 3218, alliance rank 797, so we're getting 1600 gems. We had a bunch of people leave out just recently to help out with another situation, so we were lined up for 2K, but it's okay, not a huge deal, because this being a repeat event. Although, like I said, these event tokens are going to be nice to save them up to be able to use them in the next upcoming event, especially if it's for the new Titan, Spearman Minotaur that everyone keeps talking about. So, any last words there, Bo?
No, I'm like you. I gotta turn it in. I gotta start early in the morning. So,
of course. All right, DOT community, thanks for joining in, Bo. I do extremely appreciate it, because I didn't have a ton of people on Discord with us tonight, but never a problem, never an issue. And for all the Game of Thrones fans and non-fans that joined in tonight, thanks for your participation. And we will, for the non-toxic gamers, I am Zlan.
And I am Bo.
And
Trusty Sam.
Yeah, we are signing off. I know.
And the Onion King.
Yeah, and Sam and Sir Davos.